It's a little Pac-12 after dark, Friday night edition. We got the. I don't want to take credit for something that you yourself coined very eloquently. What did you say it? How did you want to describe it?
We got the Battle of the Shits
We've got the battles of
up
the
in the
shit.
Bay Area.
Shout out to all our beloved Giants and Angels fans.
Yeah, yeah.
Not only in California but anywhere domestic abroad. Battle of the shits, man. As we start this after dark, I mean the Angels and the Giants are doing their best to kind of live up to that moniker. I mean, you couldn't have scripted it any better than this. Uh, bottom of the bottom of the 10th,
Yeah.
extra innings. It's 6-6. We got the automatic runner on second base. Luis Arias at the plate. What
He
if
just might hit a single and this game might be over.
trade deadline piece? Am I right?
Yeah, yeah,
Trade deadline
yeah.
piece. You know what I was thinking? So we wanted to, how you had mentioned one of the last times we did this together. Maybe not the last time, but one of the last times, and we had talked about, uh, watching a game. Oh yeah. Oh wow. Okay, so he singles, runner moves over to third. But yeah, we were gonna do this with the World Cup. World Cup's come and gone. It's back to
Yeah,
baseball, man. The battle of the shits.
yeah.
We got runners on the corners, no outs after a little. Luis Suarez doing what he does best, put the ball in play. Telling a runner on second to get the hell off over to third base, man. You killing me. Uh, wow. Is that your guy Wade Meckler there?
That's Wade Meckler.
There you go, Wade Meckler. Uh, Vaughn Grissom tripped on Rafael Devers about a couple of minutes before we fired this bad boy up. Ramos at the plate.
0-4 tonight. Love it.
The first, yeah, there you go. Look at this, man. Just a live look. This is where people. Yeah, man. We do a little play-by-play and color commentary simultaneously. It's like a little bit of both. Oh, the worst
All
possible outcome. It grounds out to the right to the pitcher's mound. Runner moves over to second. At least takes away the double play possibility. Um,
brother, I've been telling Vince that the Angels are the better team this season. So
it's a big
we
series.
we we have declared that the winner of this series is the better team. So obviously today with Logan Webb pitching, I would have wanted this one to be a dub, but he had his issues on the mound today.
Well, this is the World Series, man.
I'm curious what happens to him.
Curious what happens to who? Sorry,
to Logan Webb.
to Logan Webb.
He's on a very team friendly deal, man. 5 years, 90M. Signed that maybe a couple years ago, 3 years ago at this point.
You think there's a chance that he would get moved or no?
No, ownership isn't willing to do that.
I doubt it. Exactly. But Luis Suarez will get moved.
He'll get moved. Robbie Ray, I
Robbie
expect,
Ray.
will get moved. Yeah.
I would be surprised if he doesn't get moved.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
That would be. So
other than that, as much as they want to, tell Jeff Passan and Buster Olneys of the world that Chapman and Devers and Willie Adames are available, no team's gonna bite, bro. No team's gonna bite on those contracts. I'm sorry, especially for Willie's, bro. He's got maybe like 6 more years left on it. Chapman also signed an extension. Rafi also has a hella long extension. So those guys aren't going nowhere.
What do you think about those 3 guys?
Listen, I'm not going to come here and tell you that when the Giants did make the acquisition, I remember the day exactly.
Versus Rafi?
Playing the Dodgers, right?
Yep.
Kyle Harrison was supposed to start. And then maybe about 2 hours before first pitch, word is out that they acquire Rafi Devers. They're fighting for first place in the division at the time. Mind you, I mean, this is maybe in June, July, right? But still, you're fighting for first place. They make that type of move, and you're like, all right, man, here we go. Like, this is the move, right? This is Buster Posey's first big in-season acquisition. And, he trades away Kyle Harrison, Jordan Hicks, the other pitcher, what was his name again? He got moved. He keeps getting moved. He's on the Dodgers now.
Oh, not the pitcher.
The hitter.
James Tibbs.
Yeah, Tibbs.
Yep. James Tibbs.
Yeah, trades them 3 for Rafi, and I'm like, all right, man, let's get going. And fast forward to present day, they want to shop him. They are regretting the deal. So, one of those unpredictable moves, I guess. The reality is, though, brother, I thought Buster Posey would know this because he's won 3 titles here for the team that he is currently the Pobo of. The formula has always been pitching and defense, and this year, SF is 3rd worst in the league in fielding. They have one of the worst bullpens in baseball. There's a figure out there that says that they only have 11 million dedicated in cap space to their bullpen. And this isn't a team that isn't like that. It's not the A's payroll or the Marlins payroll, something like that. This is a team that's, I think, top 10 in payroll currently, and they've only dedicated 11 million out of that. Most of the payrolls to those 3 guys I just talked about. So things need to change, man.
Speaking of those 3 guys,
we've been saying it forever and ever. You and I on this very platform, but it's not. So.
Well, speaking of Rafi Devers,
here he is.
6'6", 1 out, bases loaded. Bryce Eldridge with the great at bat. He's been one of the bright spots, huh, Bryce?
Yep. Love him, Bryce.
Yeah, good. Good looking young player. They hit a really good at bat just now. Clean up spot with a chance to walk this baby off. Doesn't matter how you do it. But we're gonna find out very shortly here whether we're walking this baby off, whether we're moving on to the next guy, and whether we're moving on to the 11th inning here. A nice little first pitch strike from my guy Chase Sosa of the Halos.
He sounds hella familiar. He's been around, no?
Yeah, he's been around. He used to start at one point.
Yeah.
We've got Zach Neto in the shot. You mentioned Vince. Vince was making the shout for Neto getting moved earlier. We got a shout out Philly Phil too. Shout out to Uncle Phil. We'll get to the LeJerkFest at some point.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna do it. Rafi Devers, technically ground rule double, walks it off. See you tomorrow.
Here we go. Game 1 of the Battle of the Shits. Let's go, baby.
The Battle of the Shits. He gets the Gatorade dumped on him. Everybody's mobbing him. We love you, Rafi. Whoa. Woo. 7th career walk-off hit.
It's first. Look at that, man. You and I got it on the TV, on the telly, right?
We got it right here on the telly. There you go. There you go. Willie Adames, a little slap on the ass. Everybody's fired up. Yeah, Luis Arias saying, thank you, buddy. I'm enjoying these last couple of victories here at home before I get traded. And my contracts are a little bit easier to get shipped.
Way easier. We're talking about a 1-year rental, brother. Both him and Robbie Ray. Just a year left.
Joe Adele not looking too thrilled. Straight to commercial break.
Oh, you know it.
The Halo.
Angels Baseball TV.
Angels Baseball TV is like enough of this bullshit. Speaking of TV, at some point we'll flip this bad boy on the.
We set the stage for baseball.
We did set the stage for baseball. That's right. Congratulations to your Giants on winning Game 1 of the Battle of the Shits.
Oh yeah, come on, baby.
You got bragging.
That's the only type of battle we can win is the Battle of the Shits. That's it, man. That's it.
There you go.
That's it.
Well, but right now, you said that the Angels are going to be the better team right now. You're 1 game up. Artie Moreno and
such an accomplishment to be better than the Angels and Rockies, isn't it? I mean, what an accomplishment!
I mean, they're all in and around the same,
Yeah.
them and
Yeah.
Kansas City Royals.
Kansas, who swept us, by the way. We just ended a nice little losing streak from that. So
Kansas City,
yeah,
fucking
Kansas
stinks,
City
man.
swept
Wow.
us. Yeah, in KC.
Detroit's on a little bit of a.
Man, I'm disappointed with Detroit, brother.
I want to,
Where's Schoolball going? That's the real question. I mean, he's getting traded.
I mean, I'll tell you right now, whether he does or whether he doesn't, it would be very stupid if they didn't, in my humble opinion.
Oh
People
yeah,
will-
I mean,
there will be people who disagree with that, and that's fine. We can encourage them. But yeah, no, I think it'd be completely stupid not to flip them.
no, the Tigers are a smart organization, bro. They know that they have to.
I don't know, man. We'll find out. I mean,
Yeah,
we talked about the Angels. I mean, dude,
oh, but we know.
we know. I mean, that's not the only example. I mean, there are other, my hope is that they're smart enough to realize that Scooble is the chip that can keep you competitive long term.
Yeah.
You can turn him into whatever you want.
Yeah.
If you want bajillion prospects, if you want a couple of big league guys, or you want maybe.
And you can drive that price up, dude. People are gonna pay.
Yeah, I mean,
people are gonna pay.
Look, even
you can drive that.
Even if and the one thing I would say is that it makes complete sense for one of these teams, whether it happens or not, I don't know. But on paper, theoretically speaking, it makes a ton of sense. And this is just me spitballing a little bit. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I think in an ideal universe, you always mentioned where would he go? My thought process would be there will be a team out there that will say, okay, you know what? Even if he won't re-sign here, we're going to go all in for this one particular year. We'll meet the price point. We'll cross the bridge of the future, like, when we get there. There's without even talking about any of the other stuff about what might happen beyond this season. Like, I look at a team like Tampa, Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Where it's like you've got the low payroll. I'm not saying they're gonna do it. It's not gonna happen. But like, that would be something where, I mean, I think most people would say it's probably gonna be the Dodgers if it does happen.
Right.
Ironically, between Tampa, the Dodgers, and the Brewers, you can make the argument that not only are those the three best teams in baseball, they're also the three best farms. Yeah, the three best farm systems in baseball, which is ironic when we were talking about your Giants earlier. They got a couple of good young prospects. We were talking about a little bit earlier off the record. A couple of talented guys in the pipeline. I mean, they're probably a couple of years out, at least maybe, at least a year or two, but if not more. But they're talented. Provide a little bit of hope, maybe. They drafted a guy, Jackson Flora, out of Santa Barbara, in the first round a little bit ago. We'll do a little bit of a deeper dive on that in due time. But
remind me of the rule, because we know that the Giants are going to have a bottom 5 record, and
so they won't be able to pick higher than.
They picked 4th.
They won't be able to pick in the top 10, I believe.
Wow, that's brutal. That's brutal.
And then on the flip side, the Angels will be able to, because the Angels were picking out, because the Angels had the Angels had the number 2 pick last year.
Right. And
they drafted that. They drafted the other Santa Barbara guy. So Tyler Bray. So both the Angels, and ironically, that's an overlap between the Angels and the Giants.
Yeah.
They both flip-flopped years. So now the Giants. So last year, the Angels had a top pick and the Giants didn't.
Yeah.
Now they're both asked this year.
Right.
But because baseball does the draft in the middle of the season, it was the Giants with the top pick and the Angels outside the top 10. Now they both suck in the battle of the shits. But the Angels will be able to get a top pick and the Giants can't. So, but I mean, they'll still be able to get probably like the 11th, 12th pick, something like that. Similar to what the Angels had this year. I think Angels had like 13 off the top of my head. But yeah, you mentioned Schoolboy. Yeah, I think they'd be, even you can't talk about the Angels without talking about. I always will maintain this until the day I die that the Angels and if this was not ran, if it wasn't like them being ran like a business, right? Because Mike Trout
Right.
makes them a ton of money,
Right.
but if it wasn't like that, I think they would have they could have gotten an absolute organizational trajectory path
Uh-huh.
changing haul if they would have traded Mike Trout maybe 10 years ago,
Uh-huh.
8 years ago, 7 years ago. Shit, maybe even like 5, 6 years ago. But the more the years have gone by,
And the more injuries he's
the
picked
more
up and
injuries he's
health
picked
issues.
up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, whether he gets moved or he stays with the Angels for the rest of his career, um, so yeah, I think, look, the Tigers. Now, the difference is obviously the Angels paid Mike Trout,
Yeah.
and Mike Trout wanted to stay.
Yeah.
Like Mike Trout was content with that. I think you and I can probably both agree that Schoolboy's probably he's not gonna stay, right?
He gone.
So yeah, I think
Scott Boras client, he gone. He getting that.
he's getting a lot of money. So
Yeah.
I would imagine if Detroit is smart, which I guess we'll come back here in maybe 2
Well,
weeks.
hey, it's Farhan's understudy. I believe his name is. I know his last name is Harris. I believe it's Scott Harris.
Yeah. He's
running the show.
He used to work in the NHL.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was Farhan's understudy. He's been running the show for a bit. Of course, two playoff appearances with the Tigers. Yeah, I think he will.
So you think he'll get traded?
I
So where do you think he'll go?
I have to look again for this at the right suitors, but it's gonna be the Yankees or Dodgers, right? Both Yankees in that AL East race.
Yeah.
Dodgers are far and above in the NL West division, which we'll talk about in a little bit for sure. But I think pre-lockout, right? He's just got the rest of the season on your books.
Yeah, you figure it out. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's why I said, like, whether it happens or not, I don't know. But like, again, if this was like MLB The Show or something, and we would just, or like, if it was 30 of the guys that we could get, that we could do a recording with, and we did like our own simulated league, and we made our own trades, like we were the owners of the teams. Like, I'm sure. Yeah, man, I think it makes a ton of sense for a team to go out and for me, it makes more sense for the Tigers to trade Tarek Skubal.
Yeah.
Than anything else. Whatever, like if it, with the team trading for him, a lot of people would focus on that angle of it. I try to maybe think about it a little bit from the Detroit perspective of like they'd be completely stupid not to. And it's just a matter of where. I think like you mentioned, the Dodgers, the Yankees. You could probably throw the Cubs in there.
Dude, they have been
streaky.
Wow. I look at the last 10. I see they've won 10 in a row,
and then they lose 10 in a row.
Yeah, dude. Wow.
What a topsy-turvy season they've had. Speaking of, we were talking about this off the record earlier. Philly. Last time you and I talked baseball, they were on a little bit of a hot streak, and they've maintained that level of play, if not built on it, and they're only a couple of games back of Atlanta in the division now. The Marlins last month were incredibly streaky. This month they've been on a little bit of a skid. Them and the Nationals are kind of hanging around in the wild card race. So that's been a fun division. Red Sox were on a huge winning streak. They just ended the other day. They won 15 in a row, brought themselves back into the playoff conversation a little bit with the wild card. The Padres, man. We talked about them a little bit off the record. They just kind of bottomed out a little bit. And the D-backs have actually been playing pretty well recently.
Yeah. I was pulling up the standings on my phone. Philly is now 5.5 back. Last time I checked, they were 3. Braves have won 3 in a row. Philly has lost 3 in a row. So it's just going to be neck and neck for a while. But again, I remember you and I were talking about Dombrowski's decision to let go of Rob Thompson, and we said 2 options: either going to galvanize everyone, put a fire under their butt, or it's going to go completely haywire. And as you can see, it has galvanized everybody, and they're firmly in the wild card.
Yeah,
they still have a chance at the division. But just speaking on the caliber of teams with the Phillies, I didn't watch the clip. I just saw the video title that Jeff Passan thinks the Brewers are the team that have the best chance to beating the Dodgers in the playoffs. And I'm like, brother, did you not see what happened last year? Like, no. If them two meet again, and I know you're gonna disagree, and I've been there before when your team is the favorite and everything. I get it, I understand it, but if those two meet again, Brewers are gonna get swept again.
No, I don't disagree.
In my opinion, the best team that has a chance is the Braves, because you have star power with star power. Now, when I say star power, obviously no team has the star power of it, but with Atlanta, at least you got Acuna, you got Matt Olson, you got Chris Sale. You have guys, right? They're an experienced team.
Yeah. That guy, Drake Baldwin, man.
Baldwin,
Ozzy Albies been pretty good. Matt Olson plays every day.
Milwaukee, it's the same story. Just a young team and everything. Kyle Harrison still having a killer season, right?
Yeah. You know what though? I will say with Milwaukee, like I always like to say, 2 things can be true at once. Like, you know what, man, their farm system is really nice. They got they got some really good young players. Like it feels like they've got a bajillion shortstops and middle infielders that they just keep calling up, and they play different positions because they can't all play the same position. Like, they have a very
look at that shot of the beautiful San Francisco.
Man. Look at that. Man. The little post-game cut live on Angels Baseball TV.
Thank you, Angels Baseball TV, for reminding me of home. I appreciate you guys.
Hey, you know what? On a night like tonight, when you win Game 1 of the Battle of the Shits, you can't feel bad, man.
Hey, we got Robbie Ray tomorrow. His last start.
One of his last starts. Yeah. Ryan Johnson.
Now, honestly, bro, why are you even starting him? Just sitting, man.
You know what, man? Going back to Terry Scuba, there's been a lot of propaganda out there.
Look at that last 6 starts, 1.2 ERA, man. He's building up that value. I appreciate you, Robbie.
Listen, Robbie Ray's been pitching well, man.
Of course, yeah.
That's a good trait chip. Listen, man. You can never have too much pitching if you're a team out there. You're trying to contend, and you need an arm. Like, go out, get Robbie Ray.
He's a good Game 3 starter for you, man.
Go out, listen, man. Go out, go take a stab. Yeah, why not? And if you're the Giants, go get some prospects.
Continue building.
Take as many prospects as you can get.
I mean, hell, they decimated the bullpen last year for it. So
trade Robbie Ray to the Cubs.
Sure.
Trade Robbie Ray to the Cubs.
Sure.
Go get my guy from the Cubs minor league system. I'll have to see if we can get him on here one of these days. But yeah, man, go get these guys. One of the things I'm fascinated to get your opinion on is the American League.
Oh.
It seems as if the American League is, for lack of a better term, is open. It's up for grabs. There doesn't really seem to be a clear-cut favorite. The Rays and the Yankees have probably been the 2 best teams in the American League. But they're by no means locks to make it out. And again, for lack of a better term, I think one of the words you could use to describe the American League as a whole has been underwhelming. Maybe mediocre.
Big time.
You look at the AL West, it's been pretty brutal, man. You look at the AL Central, It feels like it's been mediocre a whole lot. It feels like. And then the AL East. We mentioned the Red Sox on a 15-game win streak. The Orioles went on a little bit of a win streak. Ironically, they lost their win streak to the Red Sox before they broke the Red Sox win streak in the same series. The Blue Jays have been
Struggle
really
bus.
bad, man.
Struggle bus.
There's a lot of chatter coming out of Toronto.
Gosman getting dealt, right?
Should they be sellers? Should they, should they stand pat? What should they do? There's a lot of chatter in Toronto and around the organization because this is a team that was a fraction away from a World Series. One thing goes different here and there, and they're the World Series champions, and they're having a hangover. They Vlad Jr. has
Had a pretty rough season.
Yeah, he was everybody's favorite player on planet Earth in the playoffs, but I think a lot of people forget that he's an interesting player because he started off really well, then he kind of took a step back for a little bit, and then it was last year, and now he's regressed a little bit again this year. It's a fascinating player. But they just, it just feels like it's not their year right now. Maybe that changes.
It's a shame because Dylan Cease is having a great year.
It's a long season, though, man. Look, like the Red Sox were dead in the water, and they rattled off 15 in a row. Like, I guess anything can happen. But, the argument in the next 2 weeks will be, should we ride it out? Should we sell some guys? Should we maybe try to inject some beef into the squad and try to make another push at it in a wide open American League? Like, I've seen that's the argument that's been used from some people for why the Tigers should keep Tarek Skubal. Like, the American League is wide open. Keep Tarek Skubal trying to make a push for the World Series. My argument to that would be, you would need to be like, if you're Detroit, you have to set yourself up in the future,
right?
In order to make sure that you can make the World Series multiple years.
Yeah.
But they've been on a little bit of a hot streak recently, Detroit, right? They've won a couple of games, right?
They've
been on a little bit of a hot streak, I feel like.
Yeah, 3 in a row. Yeah.
They're playing a little bit better baseball. Any teams that you think have been disappointing other than your Giants? And like we were talking about, battle of the shits and whatnot. You're missing the Rockies. Maybe some teams that have got your eye on the flip side have been impressive.
Well, the Reds started out pretty hot, Cincinnati, and they just fell off the face of the earth.
Yeah, shout out to the Pirates, by the way. That's a team we should give some love to. They've got arguably the hottest offense in baseball, maybe the best offense in baseball right now. If it's not the best, it's one of the best. Esmeralda Valdez seems to hit everything. That guy's really good, man.
I picked him up in fantasy.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That's a great pickup, man. That guy's really good. Their free agent acquisitions have all hit pretty well.
Yeah, I like O'Hearn.
O'Hearn. Lowe's been really good for them.
Yeah.
They've been playing good baseball, but the Reds have been disappointing. I know Chase Burns just got the extension. He's a guy
They needed to extend.
I really like him a lot. He's really fun. He's a great pitcher. But with Cincinnati, man, that's another team that really ownership doesn't get a lot of money. They don't get talked about as much in the ownership conversations that we have with like Miami and the Rockies and whatnot. But like Cincinnati ownership is pretty tough, man.
Yeah.
They don't really spend a whole lot. It's just a shame because they used to be the machine back in the day.
Yeah, you're talking about with Joey Votto, Brandon Phillips, Bronson Arroyo,
back in the day, Aroldis Chapman, even before our time, with Barry Larkin and those guys, way back in the day, and Johnny Bench and all that stuff. That's a proud franchise, but that was Milwaukee. I remember. I think the last time we came on here, every team was pretty close. And I think from then till now, there's been more games. Milwaukee's kind of distanced themselves in the regular season. We mentioned the Cubs; they've been really streaky. The Reds have been a bit disappointing. The Pirates have been really hot. Got to give some love to the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Give some love to the Cardinals. Jordan Walker's been really
Home run
good.
derby champ.
Yeah, home run derby champ. JJ Weatherhold, like they got some good young talent, good pitching. Um, the Cardinals and the Pirates deserve a lot of love. Um, we mentioned the AO Central, kind of ping ponging a little bit. The AO going back to the American League.
Mm-hmm.
One of the feel good stories of the season has been the White Sox.
Yeah.
Them going from butt cheeks to
first
place in the division.
Yeah.
A lot of good young talent. You mentioned to me earlier off the record about how they kind of hit the jackpot.
Yeah.
A little bit. And they gotta be feeling pretty good right now. Where things are kind of trending. Cleveland is in that Tampa Bay, Milwaukee tier. In terms of team that, they're competitive year in, year out. They might not win the World Series, but they might not spend a lot of money. But yeah, they make things interesting. They compete. You know what they are. For better or for worse. I'm curious, out of those three teams, which one do you think would have the best chance to make a run between Milwaukee, Tampa Bay, and Cleveland?
Well, because they're in the American League, Tampa.
I
think with Milwaukee, any team that they play.
So do you think Milwaukee? So you think Milwaukee? Do you think Milwaukee's behind both the Braves and the Phillies?
I don't want to say Phillies just yet. I do think they're behind the Braves. Yeah.
What about if it was Milwaukee in a playoff series against like the Cubs?
Oh, that's a tough one because remember just last year I went to 5, and that was a close one.
Yeah.
And it's like the Cubs should go get their revenge, right? Craig Counsell.
Yeah.
Everything like that. The storyline's there. But if I'm going off of recent history and certainly I do think the Brewers got better in terms of who they have out there. That's for sure. I just know with this Brewers team, bro, I don't know what it is. Playoffs is a different beast for them. Like as a franchise, I don't know what it is, but no, I'll say Brewers. I'll say Brewers over the Cubs.
Okay. One thing I do want to get your opinion on it before we kind of, transition a little bit. Any other trade deadline predictions that you have in store? We mentioned Tarek School. We talked a little bit about your Giants. Maybe other players with your Giants or just other teams. Maybe whether it's a player or a team that you think, or maybe just something that you like when we come back throughout the rest of the baseball season and chop it up about baseball. What is a team or a player that you're going to be keeping your eye on to, like, when we come back, you're like, oh man, I told you, like, that guy's really good. That team's really good there, or that team sucks. Something like that, just what are you looking out for, I guess?
Things are pretty quiet right now, reporting wise, as far as like how we think this trade deadline is going to go. But, in my heart of hearts, I do think that the teams that know they are not in playoff contention will start making some phone calls to a lot of these American League teams that you're talking about that are below 500, but only 3 games back of the wild card and aren't necessarily in a position or don't want to punt on the season because, that's still very close and, anything can happen. So I am expecting some pretty healthy amount of moves this trade deadline. I think for sure. As far as teams that I'm going to keep an eye on, Philly. I want to see if they win this division, despite the turbulent beginning that they had. That's an accomplishment. So definitely want to see what happens with them. Well, hey, Shohei's not going to pitch, right? And he's been shut down.
He'll come back, I think. It's just
Yeah, he's shut down for a bit though.
yeah.
They're gonna
I
take
mean, it
it.
makes sense. Be
Yeah.
precautious. Take
Yeah.
your time with him. You don't want to rush him back too quickly on the mound. They've got enough depth to be able to withstand that for a little bit. Roki's been pitching better the last couple of starts. And he's had a couple of good starts in a row. Yamamoto just keeps doing his thing.
Mhm.
Bullpen's been really good.
He's not healthy or no?
Man. I mean, I think whatever you get out of him is honestly a bonus.
So he's not healthy right now?
I mean, it's just one of those
Is
things.
he pitching or no?
That's a great question, man. I know he's not with the big league team, but yeah, he's on a rehab stint right now. I think he actually just pitched today. That's why I had to make sure because I know he's pitching, but yeah, he threw 32 pitches the other day in a rehab start. So he's pitching, but he's not back yet. So that's why I wanted to make sure where he's at in his rehab process because he's been, that's what I'm saying. Like whatever you get out of him, like because when he's healthy, he's amazing.
Yeah.
He just hasn't really been healthy. Recently at least. He's always kind of been one of those guys when he's healthy, he's amazing. But same thing with Glasnow too. Both of those guys.
Yeah.
When he's on, he's healthy. But if any team can kind of withstand it, it's the Dodgers. I mean, Wrobleski's been really good.
Yeah.
Shout out Big Emmett. He can eat some innings. Emmett Sheehan. They'll figure it out, man. But
Okamoto's having a good season, man. He's having a good season.
The Japanese guy, man. You mentioned to me earlier, off the record, Murakami. He's been, I still can't believe he signed for that cheap of a deal with the White Sox. But that American League East is interesting to me. Boston on that win streak, the Orioles, the Blue Jays, the Rays, the Yankees. I want to, a team I'm interested in keeping an eye on is honestly Baltimore.
I
want to see what happens with Baltimore. They're such a fascinating team to me. A couple of years ago, they were one of the brightest teams in the league. New ownership group came in somewhere along there. They made a couple of moves and they're just kind of hanging around a little bit. They're not the worst team in the league. They're not the best team in the league. They're just kind of somewhere in the middle. And I want to see what kind of direction do they take. Do they end up being a trade deadline sleeper? Do they end up being a team that makes a move you wouldn't expect and they go put the chips in and they go make a run for it? Do they just kind of stand pat, do nothing? You mentioned Tarek Schoolboy. I feel like that's honestly kind of like a dark horse, maybe. Baltimore, like, fuck it, why not? I mean, it's not going to happen probably, but, I think you got to be aggressive sometimes. Sometimes you got to play smart. It depends on the organization. Ironically, we had Cleveland and Tampa Bay starting the series tonight, too. Any concluding baseball thoughts? Anything we're missing here? Oh, sorry.
I hope the Giants do the right thing, trade these guys, and look into trading anyone else. I'm thinking of Casey Schmidt, Heliot Ramos. Pains me to say, but such a team-friendly deal. Logan Webb, if necessary. I need to see some farm pieces beyond just a handful. I need to stop seeing, we had Kyle Harrison in our lap And I get it. You made the risky move trading for Rafi. That's fine, but just the fact that he's killing it in Milwaukee is a tough sight for us. And yeah, I just be sellers, man. You're not going anywhere this season. If you want to keep Tony Vitello, fine. I think he will stay because if Buster fires him after one season, Buster's admitting that he made a mistake. And I think these two guys are pretty much like, they win together, they lose together. They either stay together or get fired together. You know what I mean? Like these guys are attached at the hip. The ballsy move that he did and bringing in Tony V.
Tony V, man,
is it's under a big microscope. And look, I mean, I don't think this is all Tony V's responsibility here by any stretch of the means. Like I said, I talked about roster construction earlier. It's just hard for any good manager to come up with wins like that. Has he made some questionable decisions? With some games, yes. Every manager, even managers with 30 years of baseball experience, make the wrong decisions in one day. So that's feel for you.
I love it, man. Before we, we want to maybe showcase a little bit of the versatility. How we feeling, by the way? How we doing? How we feeling? Feeling good?
Oh, great.
Hey, there you go. So I'm sure we'll probably maybe ping pong a little bit back to baseball inevitably, especially because we got some highlights rolling right now with the Chicago White Sox and their Chicago Bulls jerseys. Shout out to Jerry Reinsdorf having a good stretch here with the Bulls and with the White Sox. Actually, before we do finish talking about baseball, we haven't really talked about the AL West a whole lot with the Astros, the Rangers, the Mariners, the A's. I mentioned the Angels a little bit in the battle of the shits. Really tough division this year.
Brutal. Brutal.
Feels like it could go any direction at this point outside of the Angels.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like any of the other four teams have a decent crack at it. Earlier in the year it was the A's, and then at one point
Mariners.
The Mariners. Right now not the Astros, the Rangers are in first place. The Astros are still kind of kicking it, hanging around. Do you think maybe one of these teams decides to make a move to try to go all in and win the division in a wide open year? Do you think they're all just gonna kind of stand pat and hope for the best? Like, what do you think? Do you think one of them does separate themselves? Do you think they're all going to be, close to the end?
No, close to the end. It's kind of reminding me of when we were in middle school, where it would take the last day of the season to figure out who would win the AL West. And of course, when I'm speaking of the past, these, they all had good records, right? In this instance, not so much, but just the fact that it might take that amount of time. Honestly, bro, almost every year, man, the AL West is always the division that we don't know who's going to win. We don't know at first. It's usually always the last division that everyone knows who's going to win based off of games won, based on the standings.
Always a fun division.
Yeah. So I think that one's going to go down to the wire. As far as any teams making moves, I don't see the Astros making. I can see the Mariners, right? Jerry DiPoto is a guy that likes to make these type of moves. He made a couple in the offseason, talking about him getting Tommy Edman. So, but he's a guy that's aggressive. He's just not that very outspoken about it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
In comparison to other MLB GMs, but I could definitely see him making a move for the division. I mean, this is a team that Game 7 ALCS. So
yeah, they were close.
They were very close. I think the pitching hasn't been exactly the same as last year, But in the playoffs, when you're in, man, and everybody's
Yeah,
humming,
you just need
you
those guys for a couple of weeks,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
They've got the talent.
yeah.
Yep. No, I'm with you. I think Seattle's probably the best team in the division,
Uh-huh.
but it's gonna be wide open. Credit to the rain. That's funny, man. Almost it's funny. Can you believe that the Rangers and the D-backs played in the World Series a couple years ago? Like,
I know, dude. I know. What a
like
trip, huh?
and it wasn't that long ago. It's like fucking right before the
3 years?
Dodgers. 2 years, yeah, two, yeah.
2, yeah.
Well, there's three, I
3,
guess.
yeah.
Three technically. But man, it's hard to believe that because I want to say it was the first World Series of when we started doing these,
Yeah, that's right.
and then the Dodgers went back to back, and here
Yeah.
we are 3 years later. So yeah, hard to believe, man. Um, but in that versatility, we can always circle back to baseball. Um, kind of ping pong a little bit, but any other things in the sporting landscape that we're forgetting about that maybe we should kind of plug in here for our attention span folks out there that have made it this far into the after dark special here?
Well, hey, public service announcement. You and I agreed to do a recording today, well before, what are they calling it? The Decision 2.0?
LeJerkFest
Uh-huh,
2026.
uh-huh. Before
LeJerkFest.
that, so we'd
Le-
be foolish to not talk about it a little bit. And finally,
Mhm.
that it's done and dusted. Um, I'm going to talk to you in the lens of a Warriors fan, your Warriors correspondent here. If he came, great. I don't think any of us, were thinking that they would win a title. It would just be fun, exciting basketball for Steph. I think that's the only thing that Warrior fans do want as his career comes to a close, and not having to battle for the play-in year after year. Uh, that's the only thing. But they gave me 4 championships in a decade. Like, well, like,
Can't ask for much more
yeah,
than
yeah.
that.
So I mean,
Can't be too greedy.
yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah. You know what I mean? Like, what am I gonna do, bro? So just make it fun for the guy, man.
He's earned it.
Yeah, he's earned it, and he's got his knee issue as well. That's gonna, keep it's gonna stay there for the rest of his career. So they have to manage his minutes. Like, bro, like they're about to give Draymond Green a fat payday, right?
Take care of him.
I just hate what they're doing with the money, if that makes sense. Like, you gave Kristaps, what was it, 2 for 40? You sent me that the other.
Yeah.
Okay, really? You're gonna give Kristaps 2 for 40, bro?
I think it ended up being one of those deals
Come
where
on,
it's 2 for 40, but like I don't know. I think it's a little bit more team flexible than.
Yeah, okay.
But
All right,
still,
fair,
I mean,
fair.
it's one of those things where I think I think as far as the Warriors are concerned, you're thinking a little bit of how can you, like you mentioned, how can you compete a little bit in the last years of Steph Curry and send them off properly where, you know, uh, the last thing you want to see is like the Warriors suck and Steph Curry's still there.
Right.
Like they wait too long.
Yeah.
And then like him and Draymond, and then they're out there like, getting passed around like a, getting torched.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they got a couple of seasons left. I mean, modern medicine and modern athletes, you can last as long as you want nowadays.
Yeah.
LeJerkFest 2026. I mean, here we are, and we're still jerking off our guy Philly Phil's guy. So,
hey, yeah, I ain't. The rest of the media, we ain't.
Yeah.
The rest of the sports media is. But I do want to talk about this. I remember a great recording from you and Philly Phil,
Uncle Phil, man,
about it. I remember. I think Uncle Phil put the Sixers as the third best.
Yeah.
And then Miami 2 and Cleveland 1. Or maybe Cleveland, Miami flip. Anyways, I remember Philly third best, Warriors. I agreed with his list, by the way. Like, at this rate, LeBron at 41. He's been in the West the last 8 years. He's crossed it off the list.
Go back to the East.
Sure. I mean, and I think part of it also is he had the opportunity to play with Steph in the Olympics. So he also crossed that off the list type of deal.
They scratched that itch, right?
He's always said that he's wanted to play with Steph, on a team and competitive. So that was done with the Olympics. I mean, hey, 8 years later, Philly, you got him, right?
Yeah.
8 years
the last
later.
decision.
The last 8 years later, you got him. And, you tell me, but for me, if I'm a Lakers fan and I see the report that LeBron signed a 2-year, $8 million deal, 3.88 the first year, he's got a player option, and this dude has been taking like $55 million for the last 3 years, right, off of 1-year deals. Like, is that not a slap in the face?
I mean, you know how I feel about.
Oh yeah, right. But
I can't speak on other Lakers. The way I look at it is this: like, I think with the Philly part of it specifically, that's a great. I think that's a great thing that you bring up. So, with that specifically, yeah, I think I saw something earlier that it's the largest pay cut ever in NBA history.
$47.3 million or something.
Some stupid shit like
48 million. Yeah.
No, you gotta think. LeBron's billionaire.
Oh yeah.
Easy billionaire.
Yeah.
8 million. He probably wipes his ass with $8 million. You know what I mean? Like, shit. That's probably what they used to wipe off all the cum. They probably just. I wouldn't doubt me one bit. But. Yeah, as far as the Lakers, this dude's making $50 million and
was never willing to take a pay cut. Apparently,
he could have taken $8 million with the Lakers if you want, But you know what? I guess he milked the $50 million contracts as long as he could. But you know what? I think the more it doesn't surprise me that it's Philly. It really doesn't. There were a lot of, there was the, Rich Paul made the whiteboard. People say Rich Paul made the whiteboard. I'd like to believe we started the whiteboard movement before Rich Paul, but you know what? Which, was funny, actually. I don't know if you noticed this or not. When Shams Charania put out the little tweet about it, it was Clutch Sports CEO and podcast host Rich Paul.
Right. He's doing with Max.
Game over host. Rich Paul told him to plug that shit in there.
Oh, for sure.
And the text messages said, "Hey, Shams, like, here's your scoop, but you're gonna do me a solid."
100%.
Shams said, "Yes, sir." Like, yes, sir, Mr. Clutch. Like, whatever you want. Like.
By the way, this was reported on Friday morning, right? So
yeah.
This dude did not wake up this morning and had a light bulb moment. It was like, I'm going to Phil. He's been knowing, you know what I mean? He's been knowing. And I think you and Uncle Phil talked about it. He was gonna wait after the World Cup, right? All eyes on him and everything. And the Instagram post that I was seeing about from Bleacher Report, no decision, and it's got the list of the 16.
They're gonna end the
So yeah.
I saw some crazy.
Good on you, man. You got the attention. You had Commissioner Silver
begging on his hands and knees with his fucking ass bare, saying, "LeBron, please
make a decision."
LeBron,
this dude woke up this morning and was like, "Oh, I'm going to Philly."
I took a shower this morning, had some breakfast.
I know, exactly, dude. Exactly.
I'm going to Philly.
But had that family meeting, and it all clicked out.
It all clicked.
Lovely family, by the way. But hey man, Bob Myers.
Bob Myers, shout out.
Is this guy he's doing it again, man.
Bob, man.
He's doing, and listen, he doesn't have the title of
he's running
president, right? Okay, all right. So he.
But you know what though?
Jaylen Brown for a bag of chips, right?
Yeah.
And then,
no, so I'm glad you bring this up.
Bringing in LeBron, like.
So I'm glad you bring this up. This is a great conversation I think you and I can get to. Because, with the we got kind of like ping pong it back to MLB. Obviously, there's the elephant in the room, which is the potential for a lockout. which we can talk about that more over due time. But with the NBA, what was a very obvious outcome when they agreed to their most recent CBA a couple years ago with the second apron, like this was an obvious thing. Like people act all shocked, but it's not surprising to me. Now, what's fascinating, this is something I don't think that gets talked about enough. If you remember, Boston won a championship not too long ago.
Yeah.
But right when they won their championship, they went up for sale.
Yeah.
And one of the things that came out from, it's not even, speculated. I think the ownership group at the time.
Was his name Wick Gruzbiak or something?
Yeah. I think he was the son.
Yeah.
So he basically came out, and I think he said, like, you basically quote, I'm paraphrasing, but he said it himself. It wasn't like one of these like sources tell. No, it was like he said it himself. Where it was basically like, my dad doesn't really want to own it. Like doesn't want to pay for like it's becoming too much. We have to spend too much money in order
to be competitive.
In order to be competitive and win championships. And my dad doesn't want to do that shit anymore.
Right.
The Grossbeck family doesn't want to do that anymore. We wanted to do it, but dad doesn't want to do it anymore. Family doesn't want to do it. What can we do about it? So they sold the team, and obviously, they the Jaylen Brown trade. For all the different angles you can look at it, the one angle that really doesn't get talked a lot about it is it really just comes down to financial.
Right, of course.
There's not enough money to pay him and Jason Tatum and be able to have the level of depth that you need to have in order to compete in today's NBA.
Yeah.
It's not what it was 10 years ago with LeBron, Kyrie, and Kevin Love, and then the Warriors. Just, so.
But remember, man, Golden State got pretty fortunate, and I know you know this, but before Steph started signing these mega contract extensions, before he became the global icon he is, and he was on the come up, but what was he struggling with? He was struggling with staying on the court.
Injuries,
with his ankle.
Oh, yeah.
And he signed a 4-year, $44 million extension.
Yeah.
And then the first MVP came, and the second MVP came.
So they got a little lucky.
They did. They were fortunate in that.
And you know what? Actually, I'm glad you bring that up, because something I don't think that gets talked about enough is that Steph Curry is one of the rare athletes that suffers from injuries like that early in his career, and somehow. Normally there's so many instances where when a guy has that type of chronic injury like that keeps occurring, like they don't become an MVP after the fact. Like there's so many instances where like they have the talent, but they can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
We could go throughout the different sports, and almost like rare examples where it's like a guy who can't stay healthy and then signs, like you mentioned, a 4-year, $44 million deal, and then turns into Steph Curry. It doesn't always play out that way, but but yeah, that's a good point. And then with the second apron, one of the big things that everybody's talking about now is one of the big trendy things is like pay cuts. Jalen Brunson took a little bit less. Wemby took, he still got a lot of money. Took a little bit less. Like. Now LeBron's taking $8 million. Like, but yeah, you meant shout out to Big Game Bob. Bob Myers, man, doing a deal. I know the guy they hired, that I guess Bob Myers was the consultant.
Handpicked him.
Yeah. This is a guy who knows LeBron from childhood, and then Tyrese Maxey's a clutch guy. Him and LeBron love each other.
Yeah.
And, obviously you mentioned Philly gets Jaylen Brown, and I'm pretty sure they said as much. Like, once Philly got Jaylen Brown, I was like, why not? Like, And they got VJ Edge come through, like
Yeah,
an Embiid,
yeah.
like yeah, LeJerkFest, man. Between them and the Eagles, I
The
mean,
best one.
you know,
Oh my god.
yeah, dude, Philadelphia is going to be the propaganda capital of the world these next couple months between the Eagles, the Phillies, the Sixers.
Oh, just wait, brother. Those same fans are gonna boo Nick Sirianni out of Lincoln Financial Field, and he's gonna get canned, and we're back to square one with them. But hey, man, let them have their moment right now, man.
Yeah,
That's
Philly
that's
film,
great.
man.
That's great, Philly Phil.
But yeah, no,
Uh,
I don't think it's that surprising though. Like when you kind
yeah,
of
yeah,
untangle
no,
the
I
weeds out,
agree.
like
I agree.
they had the going back to sometimes you just like as much as people want to do like the sources tell you, sometimes you just have to listen to the people and what they're telling you themselves. Like,
Right.
um, so yeah, I think you look back and yeah, I think it's not totally unsurprising. Like, you know, uh, is it a little surprising? Yeah, I mean, when you see LeBron going to Philly, like it's not surprising, but it's still like, damn, I actually did it. Like, cool, good for him. Like, but now we can move on.
Yeah.
We can
At
move.
long last.
We can move
Yes.
on.
Yes.
Dude, I was getting tired of that shit, man. Dude, all these people were just pulling shit out of their ass on
I
a
know.
daily basis. Like
I
LeBron's
know.
gonna go here, LeBron's gonna do this. I'm hearing LeBron's feeling this way. Propaganda pieces like, oh, LeBron loves the attention. LeBron wants to drag it on. Oh, LeBron heard this, blah, 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 blah. LeBron doesn't hear this. I mean, dude, if you had it's like a genie in a bottle. You rub the genie and LeBron pops out. It's like, I mean, goddamn, man. Yeah, we can move on now. We can get the rest of the free agent signings done. Uh, see where the rest of everybody goes. Uh, we can come on here at some point in the coming days, recap, summer league, recap free agency, the trades, everything, kind of, set the stage for that. But yeah, we got that done.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll get Philly Phil on here. We'll have to get his
Yeah, man, you
perspective.
got two of the best NBA guys on here, and Armand and Uncle Phil.
Going back at it, huh?
I'm the Warriors guy, man. I'm the
Yeah.
Warriors guy. That's how of course I know I know my I got my things and everything, and
Yeah,
but
yeah.
no, them two uh are the pros, without a
No.
doubt.
Well, you know
And
what?
always love listening
I
to
heard we
what
gotta
they
get
to their takes and what they got to say about it. So I'm excited for whenever that time comes for both of them.
yeah, yeah.
To
You know
hear it.
what? One of the things I know we gotta get the Ron.
Oh yeah,
Ron, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Ron,
And Roy's got to come back online
Roy,
as
yeah,
well.
Roy's gotta
Yeah,
take his victory lap for
yeah,
picking the
yeah,
Knicks.
yeah, yeah.
And then Ron, I'm sure will spread all kinds of propaganda,
Oh, of course.
we wouldn't have it any other way. But yeah, I have to get Philly Phil and the homie Armon and get both of that. I wanna honestly, I know they're both looking forward to the rivalry that they'll have now with the Knicks and
Oh
Sixers, and
yeah, yeah,
they'll be talking some shit with each other, and
uh-huh,
that'll be a
uh-huh.
nice little spicy thing to look forward to. And I know you and Fidel give each other a hard time. Fidel saying, "I'm glad I don't have to be a Warriors fan," and you said we don't need them anyways. Have fun in Philly. Uh, yeah, man. I think there's a lot
Wait
of
until LeBron misses a free throw to either tie or win the game, and this guy's walking off the court, and these Philly fans are throwing beer at him. But the Philly fans will turn on you for they got no business doing all that. Anyway, this is a whole other day. It's a whole other discussion for
Philly
it. But
film.
yeah, just wait until that they're throwing beer at him because he misses a free throw or misses a potential game tying or game winning shot.
Oh man, they might be the most televised team in NBA history.
Oh, for sure.
They might play 60 games on national TV and streaming. Out of 82, man, it's gonna be a fun season though. It's gonna be a
Yeah.
fun recap before that.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. You know me, man. I always love to give Uncle Phil a hard time, man. He gives me a hard time. He was telling, what did he say earlier? If we go back to back on LeBron, I'll kill myself. It's like what's the thing you always said with Kermit jumping off the gif
Yeah.
of Kermit jumping off the
Yeah,
roof. Yeah, that
yeah,
shit always cracks me up, man.
yeah.
Kermit doing a little fucking just a little somersault from the roof. But yeah, man, shout out to LeJerkFest 2026, man. Uh, I marvel at the fact that for a league with as much young talent as it has, and as much parity as it has, as much as things change, they say the same, and some things don't change, man. LeBron's getting jerked off harder now than he did 10 years ago when it was Cavs
It's
Warriors.
crazy that the league is still not ready yet.
It's just they want to milk him for every last bit. Milk them. You know what, man? This was saw something where I think it was at the Fanatics fan fest that they have, which 5 degrees of separation. The guy who owns Fanatics used to have a stake in the Sixers.
Yeah, Ruben.
Michael Rubin. Yeah. So you keep untangling the leads and whatnot. One of the things I saw where I think it was LeBron himself was talking at I didn't listen to it. I read the transcript.
Yep.
And I was reading the transcript, and LeBron was talking about how he was saying like people don't tell the Rolling Stones to stop going on tour. Like they don't stop telling people to like stop doing comedy shows or like doing concerts and stuff. Basically implying that like people got to stop telling me what to do, that I need to retire. Like, I'm the man. Like, you bend over to me. Like, I do this as long as I want. And I'm telling you, man, it wouldn't surprise me. It's the year 2045. And, LeBron's probably owner, player, coach. And what would he be in 2045? What is that, 19 years from now? He's 41. That'd be 60. I wouldn't surprise me one bit. 60-year-old LeBron, owner, player, coach out there getting a layup a game. We're having debates about who's the GOAT. And it wouldn't surprise me one bit, man. We'll keep that dude in the limelight. But yeah, we love LeBron here. We really do. Any other things in the sporting world that we're forgetting here? We had the LeJerkFest 2026. We had the Battle of the Shits. Anything we're forgetting here?
No. Before we wrap up, just gotta talk about the lovely business my Chelsea Blues are doing.
Oh, hey, there you go. The Xabi Alonso
bringing in Morgan Rogers. Are you kidding me? I did not expect that one. Same deal with Maxime Lacroix. Just love the business that they're doing. Garnacho is off the books. Loan deal with a mandatory buy clause. And listen, man, if this squad stays healthy and you have an attacking line of Morgan Rogers, Cole Palmer, Estevao, and Joao Pedro, watch out, bro. Watch out. But yes, love the business that they're doing. That's a little sneak peek of a proper Prem preview that we will drop before the season gets underway.
Never too early to start spreading some Xabi Alonso Chelsea propaganda, huh?
This is Xabi, baby.
This is the Xabi.
This is a World Cup winner, a Champions League winner. What he did at Leverkusen. Favela Vinny kicking him out of the Real Madrid dressing room.
New chin, right?
This is new chin Vinny. Yeah.
What was that? I didn't actually read into that. I just saw your text and
he did a little operation on his face where his chin is elevated and he looks different. He looks a little different. Listen,
good for him, man.
Yeah. If
that's the male BBL, right?
Right. I guess. But
chin.
I mean, what I do want to say is this though. It's like clearly there was maybe some insecurities about it, and if you want my honest opinion, I never paid no mind to it at all, like at all. So,
I just remember I saw
but now that he did this and it's all over social media, whenever I watch Vinny play, what am I going to look at? I'm going to look at that new chin. I'm going to look at the male BBL. So, but hey, man, if he's happy,
hey, that's all that matters,
so
right?
be it.
Yeah, that's all that
But
matters.
just remember that Kylian is your dictador, and you will respect him, and he will take all penalties, and you feed him the ball.
So it sounds like he's staying, right?
Well, they still haven't agreed on a new contract, and he's got one more year. So I don't know what they're going to do yet. But they haven't. Madrid did sign Tchouaméni to a new deal. They did do that.
I saw that they're trying to get Rodri, right?
Well, okay. So I don't know what report. So yes, so the reports came out today about that, and then simultaneously on the same day today, Rodri's having surgery for his back on Monday.
Oh shit!
So I don't know what type of wrench that will.
So
potentially throw.
Rodri's having back surgery, but not Saliba. That's interesting.
I know.
Who would have thought that?
I know. It's all personal preference. Truly, yeah. It's personal preference. But yeah.
So never too early for some Xabi Alonso propaganda.
No.
Propaganda though. Never too early. So we're feeling good. We're feeling confident. Feeling ready.
I would like to see a little bit more on defense. Let's see what they get defensively. Obviously, I just talked about Maxime Lacroix, but listen, they do rate Joel Hato very highly, and while Cucurella is on my shit list, he's an excellent left back. I talked about him when a dagger was and is. And has been piercing through the heart. But let's see what happens there. Can Reece stay healthy? What's going to happen with Enzo, right? Chelsea are valuing him at 120 million. If a club wants to pay up, Enzo has to agree to a contract, of course, and all that. But I suspect that Enzo is probably going to stay. I don't know if because the only club that would be able to afford that price tag, who would want him, are Madrid. And Madrid already just came out maybe last week or something and said that all links to Enzo have been false and whatnot. So yeah, I think he'll stay another year and let's. But damn, can we do something about keeper? Something. That's the only that's the one thing I got. It's just goal. Can we do something about it?
That's the one thing holding you back right now.
Yeah.
You think they'll get someone?
Big Rob Sanchez. I don't know, man. I've heard no links. I do know that they rate Penders very high. Listen, if you want to bring him in, now's the time. It's a good opportunity to do it. He's not getting any younger or anything like that. Now I'm saying that he is very young, but we did see Le Mans have a great season in goal for United. I'm not talking about Belgium, Spain quarterfinal. He had a good season at United. I think he won he won some award.
It was really good.
Yeah, he won some award, a Prem award this season. So if you think he's him, man, bring him on. Yeah, bring him on. We don't have to keep loaning the guy. He got called up to Belgium, and sure, he was a third choice, but people are raving about this kid, and so show me the money.
See more. Let's see what he can do, right? I'm with you, man. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I can't, I can't believe we're on the horizon of a club season, and as quickly as the dust settles and World Cup's done, doesn't mean that the journey's. And we're just getting started, man. I'm looking forward to a great club season. We're gonna have to really ramp up the club coverage starting this season. I think that'll be something we'll have to make a concerted effort to try to make that a consistent thing, along with all the other sports going on. Try to keep it consistent. But I always love this, man. Going all over the place, doing a little baseball. A little basketball, a little.
Oh, this wasn't even a little basketball. This was just a proper. Please do the honors of saying it.
LeJerkFest.
Yes.
LeJerkFest, man. We'll be waiting for Philly Phil, man. It's not all the time. It's not always that we have the title figured out so easily.
Right.
But I think a nice little LeJerkFest, which by the way, I think if anyone was doing a drinking game,
Yes.
they'd be
Yeah.
they'd be not in good shape.
Yeah.
So we hope for the best. But so it'd be that battle of the shits. And then, we like to leave it a little bit open. And I think we would add a third part to that. And it would be the Xabi Alonso. Maybe some Xabi Alonso propaganda or something like that.
Yeah.
Nice and done and dusted. And then come back here. We'll chop it up in due time ASAP. Lots to get into. I know trade deadline's coming up. So maybe we'll do a proper trade deadline extravaganza of some sort. I did before or after the deadline. And then, before you know it, football's around the corner. Got lots on the docket for that. It's gonna be fun, man.
Yep.
Any concluding thoughts, man?
No, sir.
All right, man. Dude, pleasure, man. I appreciate you. I know a little bit after dark, but appreciate you staying up and making this happen, man. Much love, buddy. All righty. Till next time. Stay safe, right?
Yes, sir.